Hey y'all, welcome back to Sitting with Ashley. I'm Ashley. This is Collective Coffee. This is Collective Cocktail. Today is November 11th. 11/11 is a really big spiritual portal. So happy 11/11, I guess. I know I haven't been here. We had some really big personal things happen this week. And in my spare time, I've just been trying to get information out about what's happening in Palestine in different ways. I think that now that it's been over a month of watching a genocide be live streamed and learning about at least 2 or 3 other genocides that are currently happening, I think it's been really incredible to see people stand up all over the world. But it doesn't matter. We're already here. I think I'm really annoyed with people who are talking about like Project 2025 and vote blue no matter who. And I don't mean to center myself as an American, but other Americans need to fucking stop talking like that, because I don't understand what it takes for people to, like, honestly, why would you vote for that man again? Joe Biden? I mean, I wouldn't vote for Trump either. I wouldn't participate because I don't. But I think what's really frustrating is something that throughout my decolonizing journey I call an invincibility complex, specifically around whiteness and privilege. So I'm gonna talk about that quick. I believe that as white folks we do have an invincibility complex because of the systemic privilege that we have. What I mean by that is we don't think anything can happen to us because historically we've not been the oppressed people, right? And I think that, well, I've been through this process. I know that having an invincibility complex is is an issue that needs to be addressed with decolonizing and shadow work. And that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I don't think people really do. I came up with the term invincibility complex describing myself. I've been through some shit, and I still don't think that, I've reached a different spiritual level where I'm like, whatever happens, I trust. But before that, I didn't think anything could happen to me. And if it did, oh my God, it was unthinkable, unfathomable. How dare you, white people shit, right? And I feel like for those of you that are white doing decolonizing work, I want you to check yourself on your invincibility complex, because I don't know what the fuck can compel anybody. I understand we have jobs, I understand we have lives, I understand we have things to do, but like, I'm a single mom. Yesterday Niall had surgery. My car is like not working. We had to drive over an hour there and back, like separately, like an hour there and an hour back. And then my baby went under anesthesia and I had to do all of this by myself. And you know what I did while I was waiting for him? I continued posting information about Palestine. And I'm saying all of that to say is that if you're consistently in this invincibility complex to talk about how that's not going to happen to me. If that's your red line to get involved or give a fuck at all, which I know being in close proximity to other white folks, that is the case. I can't do anything about it, so it's not my problem, it's not my space. Here, I'll bring you the next ones. But I feel like, especially with this conversation around vote blue for no matter who or whatever these motherfuckers are saying, I think it's really important to completely overstand, not just understand, but to completely have an overstanding of how these systems work. And for those of you that don't think that you could ever be targeted by the state, what do you think's gonna happen when everybody else has been killed? Who do you think they're gonna go for? Even if you're the last ones, you're still gonna, if you're not, your invincibility complex is getting in the way of your fucking humanity, and it's a fucking problem. And I haven't done a daily decolonizing because, like I said, Niall had surgery. That's really where I was at this week. In regards to, like, my life. But I've been showing up consistently as much as I can for the movement on the interweb. But anyway, I don't know. I just kind of felt compelled to utilize this portal and say some shit. I don't even know. If you are in a decolonization, you don't have to be white for this to pertain to you either. I just know as a white person, because of systemic privilege, or white privilege and systemic privilege as well, that the invincibility complex, you see it all the time with, like, those, like, Republican folks, right? Crazy folks that are, like, such hypocrites, right? Like, the hypocrisy around the invincibility complex is just insane. Someone pointed out the other day about how all these motherfuckers were talking about my body, my choice, about the masks, and then proceeded to, like, totally back Roe v. Wade, right? And I'm talking about a subset that, if you're in America especially, I mean, if you're not in America, you know too. But specifically, America is where we need to do this work. This is our money. I don't know if you've heard about what's happening in Palestine. I just think, like, over 30 fucking days, and no one has stepped in. Egypt, a little bit. Yemen, a little bit. Lebanon, potentially. But, like, I'm so disappointed in humanity. Like, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. For what it's worth. Y'all fucking suck. If you're part of this problem, you suck. Please do your decolonizing work. Please check yourself for your invincibility complex. When something happens to other people, are you capable of any sort of empathy? Or are you in a place of, oh, thank you, good job. Good job. Hey, want a high five? He's good. But just, if you're spiritual, I'm sure you're already using this portal. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say because people don't listen if they don't want to hear shit. And, you know, a few weeks ago, well, it was before this, well, no, it was at the beginning of the escalation of sometime in October, I said, I feel like this is going to be a civil war moment for America. Like, we have those two ways, right? We could choose revolution and, like, band together and take over the system, or there's going to be a civil war because of imaginary dichotomies. Excellent. Invincibility Complex. You are not obsolete from any violence. And if this hasn't woken you up to that, I don't know if there's anything that can wake you up. If you are seriously lacking the ability to have any sort of human empathy about what's happening, I have absolutely no hope for you. For those of you that are feeling down or whatever, continue to do the work. Put information out there. Share these stories. Share them as many times as you need to. But none of us are obsolete from these power systems. And as you can see, nobody has stepped in. We all have the future of being in these shoes. You need to understand that, because this is continued without any sort of consequence.